You're watching Your View.
Thank you for joining us. This is Scott Kaplan and Crew Tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. SoCal Sports Talk. Here's Scott Kaplan, Alex Padilla, and John Browner.
All right, great friends. It is a Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew for everybody that is listening on the radio airwaves of 1090, 50,000 watts blasting from San Diego, north into Orange County, into and through Los Angeles County, Ventura County, Grande's hometown, the Nard, Santa Barbara, and the Central Coast. If you are a radio listener anywhere in the Southern California mega market, man, we are so happy to have you guys here on a Friday afternoon. For those of you that are with us on our YouTube channel right now, and you're watching the video or you're multitasking, you're watching or listening, I would encourage you to get involved in our YouTube chat down below. Maybe make a comment, visit with our sponsors, and there's lots to do on our YouTube channel. So glad to have you guys there. And by the way, shout out to our man, Toby, who handles all of our individual clips on YouTube, because when we clip up stuff, and especially when we have commentary on stadium fights, man, those things just blow up. They get thousands and thousands and thousands of views. Shout out Toby, and shout out to everybody that watches and listens on YouTube. And for everybody that's going to catch up to us tonight on Channel 4 San Diego, part of the Cox Your View network, it's Channel 4 San Diego. Orange County, it's Channel 118. Palos Verdes, LA, it's Channel 118. And Santa Barbara, it's Channel 4. So 1 million homes in Southern California can all get Kaplan and Crew at night, which happens on the Your View network, part of Cox. So happy to have all the TV viewers who are catching up to us tonight. And again, the weekend, you're walking around, out for some exercise, you're playing golf, you're driving, you're schlepping. Turn on the audio podcast, catch up to the show, because I had a text yesterday, Grande, I know you were on this also. Jason Finley from Callaway Golf sent us a text yesterday afternoon about the golf industry being strong and vibrant and, you know, better this year than ever before. And I'm like, Jay, what are we talking about? And he's like, well, I'm talking about the Tiger Woods conversation you guys were having on like Tuesday. You know, this was on Thursday. He's like, you know, I'm always a couple days behind on the podcast. So for those of you that are listening to the podcast, hit us up on Twitter, on Instagram. Let us know what you're catching up on and that you're out there tuning in. So happy to have everybody along here on a Friday. Before we get to college football, guys, how we looking for the Great Friends Cruise on December 11th? This is next Saturday. Next Level Sailing. This is the Yacht America. If you've got family and friends coming into town during the holidays, you want to do something fun and exciting and outdoors and sunshine and whales off the coast and pods of dolphins swimming next to the boat. And
what's the weather like
for next Saturday?
That's not a good. That's not. No one can predict that.
Well, I mean, the app can on your iPhone can predict
It'll
it.
be wrong.
So we got rain on Thursday and Friday next week, and clear on Saturday.
Nice.
Cold though.
How cold?
High of 63.
Okay.
Low of 47.
Well, I will tell you this, that when you get on the Yacht America, they've got a lot of blankets on the ship, but I would also encourage everybody to be
Who
prepared.
cares? We got hoodies.
Yeah, right. We're giving it. What's the deal on our hoodies? We got to get a hold of Fat Tony. We got to get a hold of Fat Tony and see where our hoodies are.
Yeah.
You know?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
I know. It's on me. I should be the one who – I shouldn't be asking you guys.
Sorry, dude. I don't know anything about the hoodies,
Yeah.
so I just know I want one. But I don't have any connection to the Fat Tony stuff.
Yeah.
To answer your question about how's it going, as far as guest list goes, by the time you're watching this, the RSVP has been closed. So if I did not hear from you, I apologize. You ain't coming.
I had a text message this morning from Alex that said I have not had an RSVP from Sergeant Alan Pena, U.S. Marine Corps.
Out.
He has not had an RSVP from my man Alvaro Ocobo.
Out.
Okay. And he has not had an RSVP from DJ Pat Spinelli.
Correct.
Okay.
And every email I sent, nothing got sent back saying that's not an accurate email. So the emails that you forwarded me, Scott, all I did was copy and paste.
Okay.
So
they all
I know I got the right emails.
That's 3 spots just opened up, people. Hope y'all listen.
6.
3.
That's 6.
Well, 3 people waiting a guest. So yes, technically 6 spots, but you, the individual, and one who you would like to invite, just opened up. Okay.
Here's
just
one. Listen to this one. Hey brother, this is from Sergeant Alan Pena. Hey brother, I never got an email.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
here it comes. How did tire feel on your back?
Check your junk mail. It's there.
He
Check
said
your junk, bruh.
Listen to what Alan Pena says, though. He says it's all good, though, because my son's team signed up for a baseball tournament that weekend. So 2 spots have just opened up.
6
Sergeant
spots,
Alan Pena.
bruh. 6.
Well,
6.
but give Alvaro Ocobo, who's already told me personally he's there. Okay, but he hasn't RSVP'd. And then the other one,
Scott, you can't make exceptions to the rules,
Right.
man.
No, I'm with you. I told these guys straight up for real. I said, hey, look, man.
So they out. He out.
No, I said he's got time still, but Alvaro Ocobo, he got an RSVP, and I'm trying to remember who else was it, Alex, that you said. Oh, DJ Patrick Spinelli. I told him, bro, you got an RSVP because if these guys show up on that day and we filled their spots, sorry, what can I do?
See, look, we try to set rules.
Yeah.
The man just said they had the RSVP by the day they have it, so you should be out.
I think they have a little bit longer. I think they have until like.
No, Scott, you got to. By the time this is airing, we either know or they don't.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you who else is coming. Linda Welby and her husband are coming.
Shout out. Always welcome.
And Billy Ray and his wife Kimberly, they sent back a text and said, we really want to come, but that weekend, this is next weekend, that is the Charger alumni weekend in Los Angeles. And that the Saturday.
LABR?
Right. There's LA Cap. There's LA Brown. There's LABR. Yeah. That Billy Ray was scheduled to go to the events on Saturday night. So that might mean that he couldn't make it to the boat trip on Saturday. And as I told Kimberly, I said, look, there's no pressure here. Because she said, you know what? He would rather go on the boat trip than go to the Saturday night festivities because Sunday he's got the alumni weekend and he can do, all of his hellos and see all of his friends on Sunday. And I told her, I said, no pressure. If you guys want to come on the boat on Saturday and then go do the alumni stuff on Sunday, do it. If you guys say, no, we're going to go up Saturday and we're going to spend the night and we're going to have a nice time, then go do that. But
I also have some possible controversy.
Oh.
Our hoodie provider.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Fat Tony Castro.
Oh,
yep.
God.
He told me who his +1 is.
Really?
Who?
I'm curious
Higgins?
now. Ben Higgins. Ben's welcome.
Yeah.
They sat next to each other at dinner, basically.
Yeah. Ben's welcome. What do you mean?
Who is it? Who's his +1? Give me a hint.
Different
B.
Big Seals?
Different B.
Not Big Sills?
Different B.
Different
That
B?
starts with the B. Big Seals.
That ain't Big Sills.
Different B, though.
It ain't Ben Higgins.
Mm-hmm. Different B. What do you mean by B?
First name starts with a B.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You got me. Got more hints?
Yeah, it rhymes with hurt.
Bert. No way.
Yeah.
No way.
No, well, hey, man.
That's what FT told me.
Sounds like he ain't getting on either then.
Fat Tony has invited Bert Grossman as his +1.
I mean, listen, I can look up the text message because he RSVP'd via text.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, he said, I will be there with my +1. I said, who's that? He said, Bert.
Cool. That's 2 more spots that's opened up.
2 more spots. Give me them hoodies and leave, Tony.
Thank you and goodbye.
That's great. That's hilarious. Oh my God, that's so funny. That's such a Fat Tony thing to say. All right.
I know. But by Monday we will have, I think we'll have a couple spaces by Monday to give away, I think.
Okay.
I'm just waiting on Browner to email me the sponsor.
All the sponsors
and VIP list.
With the exception of one that Scott is taking care of.
Yep. Everybody Corky's is on me, but I know Ruthie from Torrey Holistics has said she and Peter are coming.
Everybody.
Right. I know the Mountain Trust has an entire contingent of people coming.
The office.
Yeah. I don't know. I have
Brian Bushfield.
Hey, West Coast BBQ Shop. This is a great opportunity for me to just promote West Coast BBQ Shop. WestCoastBBQShop.com, 2330 Proctor Valley Road down in Chula Vista. If you've got any friends or family and you're trying to think of what am I going to get these folks for Christmas, it could be a big green egg. It could be a smoker. Maybe you don't want to go that high end, but maybe you're like, look, this guy loves to cook. So I want to get him like accessories for grilling, spatulas and tools and all kinds of stuff, temperature gauges. Maybe it's just, sauces or rubs or whatever. But if you need any of those things related to the grilling season as a terrific holiday gift, WestCoastBBQShop.com, WestCoastBBQShop.com. So Brian and his wife are coming, right? Corky, I don't know about yet. The crew from I Thrive MD, did they reply? Brown?
Yes, yeah. I told you that from the beginning. They did.
Okay, that's Raquel Gay, who's married to D.
D
J.
Well,
J
Yay.
I got one
J.
email saying that they had the pluses +4 that they were given. No, all people are coming.
Okay, cool. Very cool.
So
All
they
right,
didn't tell
good.
me specific names.
So by Monday, we may have a few additional spots, okay? Because even like Lori and Don Benson said to me yesterday that they had not RSVP'd. I don't know if they didn't say that. Anyway, they're coming too. So do we have them on our list? Because they're the pregame tailgate hosts.
Yeah, they got to come on. They the outside party.
Yeah.
Yeah, I put them on the list. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Senor Bobby Roush was the final one to RSVP
Oh.
this morning. He was out of the country.
Oh.
See,
he's
that
just
we
got
can make
back
an
into the-
exception for.
He's like, just got back into the country. I will be there.
Okay, Bob Roush.
People
Nice.
have also done us a favor and told me if they're coming solo or not. So
Your
there
extra
are a
spots.
couple of stragglers that are just coming solo.
Okay, next week we should have on Captain Fathom and Captain Troy, and let's hype this thing up. Let's promote it like crazy. And also next week, it's the first ever Kaplan and Crew Holiday Extravaganza. And here's what we're doing. We are going to introduce all of you guys who are listeners and viewers to potential holiday gifts that might interest you based on companies that are closely associated to the show. So we've got next week the California robe guy. I'll explain all of that next week. We've got the water bottle hydration system guy, which I'll explain as well. We've got the Sunday Swagger crazy polo shirt guys, which is coming up. It's all being brought to us next week by Manscaped, which is a local company that's about to go public. So we got all these listeners who have companies and have products, and they would love to share them with you guys, the great friends. And you may say, that's a cool gift idea. I want to get one of those. That's a cool gift idea. I'd like to get one of those. So we're going to try and make an introduction here. We're going to be the middlemen to good holiday gift ideas from companies that are affiliated somehow in the Kaplan and Crew ecosystem. So that's all coming up starting next week. So, hey, listen, let's jump right into some college football stuff. I would like to start with San Diego State, Utah State. Alex, if you could, for everybody who's watching and listening, let's go to the tail of the tape. Here we go. Utah State is 9-3. They were 6-2 in the Mountain West Conference this year, and they're taking on number 19 San Diego State, having perhaps the greatest season in the history of San Diego State, but it has to go on. They're 11-1 overall, 7-1 in the Mountain West Conference. This game kicks off tomorrow at noon. Alex, do you happen to know the line and the over-under in this game? Because I've been trying to figure it out. Utah State scores over 30 points per game. San Diego State scores almost 28 points per game. If you put the tail of the tape back up, Utah State's defense gives up, I'm trying to remember how, Utah State's defense gives up 26 points, whereas San Diego State only gives up 17 points. I've been thinking about tomorrow maybe making a bet on this game, but not so much the line. I was thinking more about the over-under. Do you happen to have those?
Over-under is 49.5 with the spread -6 for San Diego State.
Okay, so I would probably be inclined to
Say under.
Actually, I was kind of thinking over. Go back up to the tail of the tape for a second there. San Diego State's offense scores about 28 points per game, and Utah State's team, they score about 32 points a game. So I was thinking that San Diego State would win this game about 27-21. That's 48. So that is under, isn't it? But I feel like I want to play the over.
What is your gut telling you about this game?
That's an even better question.
Because I told you guys, I'm not sure if, it was when Gary was here. I told you guys I have a gross feeling in my gut about this game. And I think that's partly of what Gary was talking about. As a San Diego State alum and follower and fan, you're used to when is the heartbreak coming. And for most people, I would say the Fresno State game was coming, but I think a lot of people saw that coming. This one, because it looks like the offense has kind of turned a tiny bit of a corner, you know, they've actually been able to pass the ball way more than they had in the first half of the season. But there's just something about Utah State because they're such a balanced offense. They pass for, they're very similar to Fresno. They pass for a lot. They run for a lot. So if Matt Ariza can boom a couple 80-yarders and put their backs against the goal line, then maybe they can really get through this. But San Diego State ain't beating anybody by double digits. We know that. It's going to be a close game, and their defense has got to come through. And I just have a gross feeling about this game.
I thought their defense. I thought their defenses had been doing a good job this year. Why would you be more worried about a balanced offensive attack from Utah State if you feel like the San Diego State defense has been held in serve so far? They can't score, so they obviously have been doing something right.
I think that passing teams can get San Diego State. Okay. I think that San Diego, because it's college football, man. I mean, to stay one-on-one with receivers in college football, there's not that many guys that can do it. So I just think that if they can force this quarterback into some turnovers, that's huge. You know, like that would be clutch. But I'm not worried about the defense. I'm just worried about them totally. Like 24 points is not a lot of points. And if San Diego State are you confident they're going to score 24 points?
No.
That's only 3 touchdowns. You know, it's not like some impossible number for Utah State to get.
But with Utah State's passing offense averaging over 300 yards per game, and with San Diego State's very aggressive defense,
and are they going through COVID?
Yards can be deceiving, though.
I'm just looking for a defensive score is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Yeah. I just, this whole, no one has come out and said anything from San Diego State about the report from UT about possibly having a COVID outbreak. They already are without a tight end. I don't know who else is missing. It's just a weird feeling. I'm not telling you that they're going to lose. It just have a feeling that something could very much go wrong in this game.
Yeah.
But that's also my natural pessimism.
No, but if they're missing dudes because of COVID, I gotta think
they can't afford to miss dudes.
Well, that's just it. But my question would be, I would almost be surprised if the game went on if there was an outbreak at San Diego State.
But and also with this pandemic, who determines what is an outbreak? How many guys is an outbreak?
Well, I mean, if you have,
the Cowboys last week they had like 10 guys
including
on COVID
their head coach.
They didn't have him last night. So I just think if it's a controlled spread, I don't know if that sounds terrible or not, but if it's 5 to 10 guys on a roster of 90,
right,
depending on who those guys are, everything could be different.
I don't think so. Unless it was like 40 guys, then you probably have to stop the game for safety reasons.
Yeah. I'm not saying about stopping the game. I'm just saying, like, depending on who those guys are, what position they play, are they starters, etc. Then the game could be different. Which is why, by the way, when Brady Hoke was asked about this the other day, forget about his policy about talking about players' health. Forget about that. It's competitive advantage. You don't want Utah State to know if guys A, B, C, D, and E are all going to miss the game.
Right.
So I understand what you're saying about having that gross feeling. I'm going to be more confident about this, and I'm going to say that San Diego State's been 11-1 so far this year. The biggest win of the year is probably the Utah game, considering how Utah has now come back, and we'll see what they are tonight against Oregon, even though they smashed Oregon the last time. So I'm gonna be confident here, Grande, and I'm going to say San Diego State's going to win the game.
I would say the biggest win for me is last week's, because they fell behind by a lot against the rival, against a team that, was coming in hot. I think they won 5 in a row coming into that game on Friday. And imagine losing that game to Boise. And I don't even know if Fresno won or lost last week, but what if they just coming in like after a loss like that? But the fact that they fell behind, came from behind, totally shut them out in the second half with your backup quarterback. That's a huge momentum push towards Saturday.
Yeah. Fresno State, by the way, beat San Jose State last week, 40-9.
So Fresno would have been in the championship if San Diego didn't win this game.
All right, let's keep going, though. Besides San Diego State and Utah State in the Mountain West Conference Championship game tomorrow, noon kickoff at Carson. By the way, lots of seats still available. I would be going to this game tomorrow, but my daughter, I told you guys, my daughter is playing in this junior college women's soccer showcase where they take the top 40 players in the state of California and they put them together for 2 games at Mount San Antonio College somewhere in LA, which
Mount Sac.
Yeah, I still haven't figured out exactly where it is and how long it's going to take me to get there.
Not fun.
I know.
Cal Poly Pomona.
Yeah, well, it's going to be far, man. It's a schlep.
Guess who lives there, by the way? Neil Umschild said he lives right by that university. I told him.
Neil Umschild. Nice. Yeah, hey Neil, why don't you come visit with me, man? We'll hang out a little bit tomorrow.
Want some soccer?
Yeah, man. All right, let's go to the board though, because besides San Diego State, which is the game that we're all focusing in on, let's take a look at what else is going on. I mentioned coming up tonight at 5:00, Oregon and Utah, so probably about an hour or so from now. Tomorrow,
go Utah.
Yeah, I'd like to see Utah win that game, big time.
It won't get you anywhere,
make that win look better.
I know, you're right, Browner.
How far will you go up? How far will you go up?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because you're not going to finish in the top 10. It doesn't matter.
It still helps.
But I just think it looks good,
Right.
If they
especially if Utah beats Oregon twice in the same season and San Diego State beat Utah, it makes that look even better.
If that boosts them to 10, just get to 10, okay. But I don't think it will.
No,
they'll get leapfrogged.
Probably won't. Take a look elsewhere. Cincinnati. Is Cincinnati going to make it to the playoff? They're playing number 21 Houston. Houston's 11-0. They're unbeaten in their conference. I don't think we all know enough about Houston, but I mean, just based on record.
About Cincinnati.
Yeah, so
I know that Houston will skip San Diego if they beat Cincinnati.
Right. And rightly so, by the
Exactly.
way. Rightly so. They're playing it against the number 4 team in the country. Baylor and Oklahoma State, also a game that could potentially impact the playoff should there be some losses in front. Number 2 Michigan against number 13 Iowa. I know a lot of Michigan fans are feeling the same way you're feeling, Alex. Like this is a nerve-wracking moment. Number 1 Georgia against number 3 Alabama. That's the game everybody's going to be talking about. And then tomorrow evening, while that Michigan-Iowa game is going on, my Pitt Panthers against Wake Forest, number 15 versus number 16 for the ACC championship. What a day of college football games tomorrow. And I'll be watching them all on my phone as I'm sitting there watching girls soccer up at
Of all those games,
Mount Sac.
What game are you expecting the biggest shocker to come from?
Alabama, Georgia.
After the break.
Yeah. We'll talk about it more. Stick around, everybody. We're in the 7 Mile Casino Studios here on Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Rich Eisen here, inviting you to catch my show, The Rich Eisen Show, on our flagship radio station, the mightier 1090. We're on every Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to noon Pacific time. You'll like what you hear. If not, that's just, I guess, too bad.
A new generation of radio. The all-new and mightier 1090.
These are challenging times for our community.
The San Diego Food Bank and our North County Food Bank chapter are here if you need help. We have hundreds of locations throughout the county where you can get help with food.
We have food.
It's okay to ask for help. Visit one of our drive-through and walk-up locations.
We can also help you sign up for CapFresh.
If you need help or if you can help, visit SanDiegoFoodBank.org.
Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Great googly movie.
Oh, yeah. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. Time now for Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon. And by Prospect Home Finance.
Last month, the Orange County Soccer Club hosted its second Corporate Cup, pitting local businesses against one another in a competitive round-robin soccer tournament, with the finalists playing at Championship Stadium after the Orange County SC home game on Wednesday, October 20th.
Really a great opportunity to get our whole company and our families out here together, spending time for a good cause and really enjoying it.
Co-ed teams from a variety of industries showed up at the Great Park Fields in Irvine to participate in the charity tournament, with the proceeds going to the OCSC Community Foundation to help further its mission to use soccer as a vehicle to promote health and wellness, support and empower youth, foster an inclusive environment, and unify the local community.
We feel great about giving back to our community. Experian is a company that tries to give back in many ways, and just being able to support this cause is awesome. Anything that we can do to kind of support Orange County, we're all about it.
It was a fun day out on the field with 16 teams battling it out for bragging rights to see who moved on to the finals.
They've been taking it pretty seriously so far. A lot of them have been practicing in the weeks leading up. They've got their own custom jerseys, and you can tell they're having a great time just getting out of the office on a Friday on a beautiful day here at the Orange County Great Park.
The team members were extremely excited and passionate. We got more than expected entries, and we had to tell people then just show up and cheer the team.
Participating companies were also treated to meet and greets and private coaching sessions with OCSC players and coaches.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's Community Connect is fueled by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Listen to the Mightier 1090 for the LA Football Show with Ryan Dyru. Fridays at 5 p.m. The best guests and the best coverage for your LA football teams. Rams, Chargers, UCLA, USC, SDSU. We have them covered. Only on the Mightier 1090 AM.
Food insecurity is defined as not having sufficient resources to buy food either for yourself or for your family. Folks who are food insecure struggle with not having enough food to eat because maybe they lost their jobs. It is important to not just look at one person as being food insecure, but really looking at them as it could be anyone. The San Diego Food Bank has been around for over 40 years. Our job is to help procure food for San Diego County residents to make sure that no one is going to bed hungry. Accessing food from the San Diego Food Bank is very simple. A lot of our distributions right now are operating as drive-through distributions, so they are safe to attend if you are concerned with getting out of your vehicle and walking into a food pantry. The San Diego Food Bank needs your continued support. Please visit our website at sandiegofoodbank.org, and there you will see all of the different ways that you too can get involved.
There's a difference between just getting there and enjoying the journey. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, we put you in the driver's seat of the best cars around. From our stylish crossover SUVs to our classic sedans and sports cars. At Team Mazda of El Cajon, your good credit and trade-in can turn into the Mazda of your dreams. Start enjoying your drive with a new Mazda today. Visit Team Mazda of El Cajon.
Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
The high school football division finals took place last week. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our division champions in the San Diego section. In Division 1, the Helix Highlanders took down the Lincoln Hornets 28-21. Helix scored 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to get the win. In Division 2, Scripps Ranch shut out La Jolla 42-0. And in Division 3, Mater Dei Catholic beat Ramona 37-10 to claim the title. The Crusaders had a big third quarter to get the win. This Friday, Mater Dei will take on Helix in the Division 2 AA State Football Championship Bowl Game Regional Finals. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Still on his feet, Jared Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. He's at the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Return left sidelines off to the races. He splits the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcats. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon. Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m., live from the Viejas Arena.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the Mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the Mightier 1090 and Your View. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Yo, great friends. It's Friday afternoon here on Kaplan and Crew from the 7 Mile Casino Studios, 7milecasino.com. And let me tell you, we've been talking a lot of college football today, right? We've been talking about the San Diego State game that's happening tomorrow at noon, or the Michigan-Iowa game later in the day, the Pitt-Wake Forest game, the Alabama game versus Georgia. So all these games are happening tomorrow. If you're looking for a great place to watch them and have a good time, 7 Mile Casino is going to have all the games on, plus Sammy's Restaurant and Bar, and it's only 7 minutes from downtown San Diego. So, Browner, you asked a question at the end of the last segment. As I recall, the question was, which game tomorrow in the college football championship Saturday will provide the biggest shocker? Yeah. So, Alex, if you put it back up on the screen, let's take a look at these games tomorrow, all these championship games. We don't have up the Mountain West Conference game against Utah State between San Diego State and Utah State. Yeah, well.
It's got its own slide.
Well, you tell me. All right, let's everybody jump in on an answer. Go ahead, Browner. What's the biggest shocker tomorrow that comes out of Championship Saturday?
Oh, I think Michigan's going to get blowed out. I really do. I think Jim Harbaugh's going to choke this thing down the drain, man. I really do. After watching Michigan State just pummel them, I don't see them winning this game. I really don't. Iowa is a solid Big Ten football team, and Big Ten teams beat each other at the worst possible times all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Guess who the quarterback is at Iowa?
Who dat?
Alex Padilla.
Get out of here.
How you quarterbacking and doing the show?
Yeah. And I'm a senator.
You're a busy man.
Too.
Dude, really? Is that the kid? Is that the kid's name? You. Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
See, now you're rooting for Iowa.
Yeah, I am.
I've been rooting for Iowa. I'm gonna get Iowa.
I was about to say, well, your Padilla jersey.
You know,
yeah. He's Alex Padilla, number 8, from Greenwood Village, Colorado, and we look nothing alike.
Really? Can you put him up on the screen? Let me take a look at this kid, Alex Padilla.
Sure.
Let us see you.
Really? I had no idea that the quarterback from Iowa's name was Alex Padilla. That's hilarious.
Football, Alex.
Look at this young fellow.
Oh, not that far along though. Look at the hair. Y'all got the hair, maybe.
Alex, have you tweeted Alex?
Got the butt chin.
He does have a butt chin.
I haven't tweeted Alex. No, I haven't. But I know there is an account that's like at Alex Padilla, and he follows every Alex Padilla he could find. So we're probably linked somehow.
Wow, Cherry Creek High School in Denver. I mean, I know that school. It's a school that's produced a lot of kids. You know, I'm looking at Iowa, just so you know, Browner. They've had a great season, but they did have a 2-game losing streak. This is in October. They lost to Purdue, where they got blown out, and they lost to Wisconsin, where they got blown out. They recovered with wins against Northwestern, Minnesota, Illinois, and Nebraska. So, you know, they played 2 teams that were pretty good, and then they won against 4 teams that are not really very good, and they recovered. Listen, I got to say this. As much as I like the Alex Padilla story, I'm very partial to Jim Harbaugh. Okay, I love Jim. I've had a great relationship with Jim. I think you guys all know I've told this story before, but Jim's father coached me in college. And then when Jim was the coach at USD, I mean, he gave us all access to the program. We did, you know, TV series, I don't want to say series, segments about the USD football program. Me, Jim, and Billy Ray worked together when we would host like Charger TV shows on Channel 4 San Diego. This is back then. So I got to say I'm rooting for Jim Harbaugh to succeed and for Michigan to get into this playoff, because I feel like since Jim got to Michigan, it's kind of like he hasn't been able to beat Ohio State until this year.
Right.
And people were thinking the whole time, this ain't working out for Jim Harbaugh.
This is his first Big Ten championship game. This is his first Big Ten championship game. And again, I like Jim Harbaugh too, but I've seen him lose these games in the past. Yeah. When they needed a big win, he's found a way to not come up big. So I don't know.
I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for Michigan. All right, put it back up on the screen, Alex. So Browner's prediction is Michigan falls to Iowa. All right, Grande, what's the biggest upset that could happen tomorrow, or that will happen tomorrow in Championship Saturday?
The biggest upset that I can see very much happening is Houston beating Cincinnati. Yes. Just because of the ranking, that I would say that is the largest upset, because of obviously Houston being 21. I definitely think that one is likely to happen. I don't know why. I haven't seen an ounce of Houston football this year, but I will tell you, I would love to see it.
Yeah.
I just want to see
Cougars.
chaos. I just want to see chaos.
Yeah, chaos. But what we really should be rooting
Actually,
for.
I don't want to see it. I take that back. I want to see Cincinnati in the playoff.
Well, right. That's what I was going to say.
A big old middle finger to the committee.
Right, right.
Undefeated mofos. We're number 4. Drop us.
Yeah.
Dare you.
Yeah. See, that's the thing is that if Houston beats Cincinnati, then this whole season of Cincinnati being the Cinderella of college football is out the window. If Houston beats Cincinnati, it kind of just goes to show, like, okay, a team from their conference, who only 21st in the country at 11-1, a team from their own conference, undefeated in the conference, actually beat them. So it will make people say that Cincinnati's been grossly overrated all season long. So I got to say, I'm rooting for Cincinnati to win just because I want to see the mid-major break into the playoff.
What if
go ahead.
Houston
Mm-hmm.
barely, I'm sorry, what if Cincinnati barely wins and Oklahoma State just blows the doors off their opponent?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Oklahoma State has enough clout to leapfrog.
They're in already?
Yeah, I don't think.
Really? Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah. I'm rooting for 3 things to happen tomorrow. The only 3 things I'm rooting for. 1, San Diego State to beat
That's
Utah
a given.
State, obviously. Cincinnati to get into to win so they can get into the playoff.
I agree with that.
And my 3rd, for Alabama to just lose and get out of my life.
Okay. See, so wait, so Alex says Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Browner says Michigan to be upset. I'm going to tell you guys this. I think Alabama's going to win the game tomorrow. And it's not because they've been dominant. I mean, last week against Auburn, it took an absolute miracle for Alabama to beat Auburn.
Pass rush was outstanding for like 3 quarters and some change. And then
if that running back doesn't go out of bounds in that drive at the end and they have like 40 less seconds, it's over. But that running back just brain farted all over the field and Auburn choked that game away.
Yeah. Well, Alabama in the final analysis did find a way to win. I mean, first they had to tie it and then they had to go to overtime and win it. I think Alabama pulls the upset of Georgia. And the reason that's going to suck is because that's going to mean that Alabama's going to be in the playoff. And that means Georgia's going to be in the playoff. Now,
Georgia
can't do that.
Georgia has just beat the snot out of every single team they've played this year except the game week 1. Like, look at these scores. Obviously, week 1, you never know. They beat Clemson 10-3. But then 56-7, 40-13, 62-0, 37-0, 34-10, 30-13, 34-7, 43-6, 41-17, 56-7, 45-0. That's an SEC school.
Yeah. You say Clemson sucks now, but I think they finished the season 9-3, which, for most teams, that's not good enough. But let me rephrase that. For most teams, that would be great. For Clemson, 9-3, that ain't getting the job done. So look, here's what I think is going to happen. I think Cincinnati's going to win, although I'm cautious about that one. I think Alabama's going to win, but I hope they lose. I think Michigan's going to win. I do. Now, anybody here, Pitt, Wake Forest? Come on, let's all cheer for my Pitt Panthers tomorrow.
I mean, the only thing I know about Wake Forest is Tim Duncan and Chris Paul. Go ahead. Go top Pitt Panthers.
Yeah, go Pitt Panthers is right.
Sure.
That's right.
Why not?
Right, man, hand out some Pitt swag, dog. What's going on, man? I'm a cheer for somebody ain't got no swag. Pitt's got great colors, too.
Yeah, great unis. Old school looking.
What are your colors?
Yellow, blue, and white.
I know, but you always have different shades of blue.
Just, it's like all these schools now. You got all these different kinds of uniforms, So, all right, listen.
I'd be curious to see which the other thing too, which Pac-12 team finishes 5th, because that's the team that the Mountain West #1 team will play in the LA Bowl.
Which team finishes 5th? So what are our chances here? What are we looking at? Let's take a.
So you got Oregon, Utah.
So that's 1-2.
Right, and then it's a mixture of Washington State 6-3, Arizona State 6-3.
6-3.
UCLA 6-3.
Oh, these are in conference.
Oh, sorry. Let's go overall. So you got Oregon and Utah, obviously, and then you got Arizona State 8-4, UCLA 8-4, and then Washington State 7-5, Oregon State 7-5.
I mean, listen.
I don't know who they're going to take. If you're the LA Bowl, you probably want UCLA.
I would think so. I would think so. San Diego State UCLA is what we all want because we want to see San Diego State beat a UCLA. But San Diego State, Arizona State kind of works too, just because, Herm Edwards and a former San Diego State player himself. And, Arizona State wants to come over to San Diego and Southern California and take some players. So I would take Arizona State and San Diego State. I'd be happy with that. Bottom line, it doesn't matter. You're going to play a Pac-12 team. You've already beaten Arizona this year, and you've already beaten Utah this year if you're San Diego State. So
if I'm the LA Bowl, there's no way I don't push all my cards in to get
of course,
UCLA.
naturally. I mean, a Southern California matchup between UCLA and San Diego State, awesome. That's an awesome situation. So
that's probably the most people you
there.
can get into that stadium too.
Yeah,
if you
right.
put those two teams there, and that's what's most important to them at this point.
Right. I mean, you got locals coming from both sides. So right on. All right, listen, let me have 1 minute to just mention one of our terrific sponsors here, and that's iThrive MD. As a matter of fact, I was meeting with Dr. Damani just earlier this week. He's very involved in the marketing of the company. And one of the things that Dr. Damani and I are starting to talk about now is this. We've introduced you to iThrive MD through testosterone. We've talked about what it is to be a little bit older, to not feel as clear-minded as you used to not have as much energy in the bedroom, to dealing with possible depression, lack of motivation, and all of those things could be literally from low testosterone. So we invite you to come to iThrive MD, get your testosterone levels checked for free. And if you need testosterone treatments, you're going to get the best price in San Diego. Go shop it around if you have to or if you want to. But as we start to deepen this relationship with iThrive MD, Dr. Damani wants to start introducing lots of other things that they do for your long-term health and wellness. He talks about great sleep and what that means. He talks about great sex in your life. He talks about energy, just overall well-being and health, and keeping you as healthy as possible to keep all of us here as long as possible. So I want to invite everybody, go to ithrivemd.com/Kaplan. Or call and make an appointment, 858-240-1497, 858-240-1497. Guys, you know that feeling. Like I've told you guys this. I know my testosterone levels are a little bit low right now because in the middle of the day, I'm like, I need a 30-minute nap. That is not like me. Usually I've got energy off the wall. But it turns out that I haven't gone to iThrive MD in about 4 to 6 weeks, and I can feel my testosterone levels have dropped because you get to know your body, right? And so come on in. 858-240-1497. Feel great this month of December, the holidays. You're not working out as much, maybe. You're going to holiday parties. You're eating and drinking more than normal. Come on into iThrive MD and feel your best. ithrivemd.com/Kaplan, 858-240-1497. Guys, let's switch our attentions from the college football championship weekend into the NFL this weekend. And taking a look around, let's take a look at the games, Alex, if you could put them up on the screen. Let's take a look at what games we got, which games we like, where your teams are going to be playing, who my favorite team is playing this week. You know, my favorite team this week is the Cincinnati Bengals, right? Joe Burrow.
Why?
Herbert. What do you mean why?
Why would you do that?
Because my favorite team is always the team that's playing against the Chargers.
I thought you were just trying to square up your boy against my guy.
Well, it is.
This one, Joe Burrow versus Joe Herbert. Joe Burrow.
That's right.
Versus Justin Herbert. This is the Browner.
Right. I mean, Browner says that Burrow's a bust, and he says that Herbert's a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
And so the Chargers head to Cincinnati to take on the Bengals. The Bengals have positioned themselves to really be a playoff contender, and I think they're still sitting under a lot of people's radar because we look at them and they're the Cincinnati Bengals. Well, they are until they're not.
They have a great game one week, and then they have a letdown, like a bad letdown, and then they have another good game, and then another good game, and then another bad letdown. So,
well, who does that sound like? Yeah.
So like every other.
Does that sound kind of like everybody?
Every other.
That's
not to mention
2021 in a nutshell.
Right. The Bengals are 7-4. The Chargers are 6-5. I mean, the way you just described the Bengals, I mean, haven't the Chargers been more of a letdown? And aren't the Bengals more of a surprise that they're what is the face?
The
What's
Bengals,
the face?
the Chargers have played far better competition than the Bengals.
They have.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
Far better competition than the Bengals.
How do you say that when every week in the NFL we can't figure out who's good and who's bad? How do we know that they've played far better competition, the Chargers?
Well, first and foremost, the Bengals lost to the Bears. Let's just start there. That's ground zero right there. Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
They beat the Vikings, which isn't again.
The Chargers lost to the Vikings.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Let me break out this whole thing because I'm finna obliterate y'all with this.
You're finna just make stuff up.
Obliterate y'all with this.
The Chargers got blown out by the Ravens, and the Bengals beat the Ravens.
I'm listening.
The Chargers played the Steelers to one of the closest games that the Steelers choked away. The Bengals beat them by 31.
Twice. They beat them this season.
The Bengals beat the Vikings. They played the Packers. They lost by a field
bro.
goal.
You know who they lost?
Nobody wanted to
Come
make
on,
a field
bro.
goal that game.
They lost to the Jets and the Browns. Come on now. What we doing? And
now,
then they lost to the Bears. What we doing?
Well, they're 7-4. They have a better record than the Chargers. I mean, you're arguing that the Chargers played a much tougher schedule.
Aren't you
the
the one that comes in here every week and says anybody can beat anybody?
Absolutely.
That is literally what you say
It's
every
my tagline.
So the fact that what
That's
does it
my
matter?
tagline. So what happened?
Or who does it matter who you play, who you beat, who you lose to? According to
When are you going to obliterate
They're
us?
7-4.
Just let me know when we're obliterated, just so I know.
I just did because I knew somebody was on that schedule. Then I'm like, that's an embarrassing loss.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets. They got the Jets and the Bears on their losses. Come on now.
All right, let me give you the schedule here real quick on Sunday. Early morning, 10 a.m., Buccaneers, Falcons.
No.
Not really doing much for me. Cardinals about to annihilate or obliterate Browners, Bears.
Kyler Murray Kyler Murray back. DeAndre Hopkins not back.
Okay. Also at 10 a.m., Chargers, Bengals, Sunday morning.
Good one.
Okay. Vikings, Lions.
No.
Grande. Is it possible that
that's the one?
Yeah, it's very possible.
It is?
Yeah, it's
God,
possible.
if the Lions
Anybody could beat
Lions
anybody,
beat
right?
the Vikings. Oy vey.
pack it up.
Also Sunday morning.
Oh man, if the Lions beat the Vikings, I'm calling out sick.
Also Sunday morning in the 10 a.m. window, the Giants and the Dolphins. Doesn't really do much for me, although the Dolphins have gotten themselves now back to where they're kind of on the bubble of the playoffs. And the Eagles and the Jets. And gosh, the 10 a.m.
No.
and there's a lot of games. And the Colts and the Texans. Ugh.
No.
Now we get to 1 o'clock. Washington football team against the Raiders. Now, do you guys have any interest in this game?
No, not really. Not really, because I think Washington should win that game.
Okay, here's the thing. I'm really interested in this game. If I am the Raiders, here's what I'm thinking. That Washington football team, that organization, that's one of the reasons we're in the situation we're in right now. I'm Derek Carr, and I want to destroy the Washington football team.
1,000 yards passing in that game?
Jaguars Rams at 105.
Yeah.
Really ugly game. And there's a part of me. I mean, I would love to see the Rams in the Super Bowl in SoFi Stadium. It's a 10 million to 1 shot that it's going to happen. It's only happened one time, obviously, in NFL history last year. But man, the Rams have been so bad recently. Matthew Stafford's been so bad. If they win the game, it means nothing to me. If they lose the game, they're toast for the season. Anybody watching that game? You into that game?
No, I'm out on that one. I have no desire to watch that game. It does nothing for me. None of it at all.
Okay.
Zero.
All right. Ravens Steelers
Part of my
yeah,
job.
so you're gonna
so
watch it.
I'll probably watch
Ravens Steelers
Okay,
125. 49ers.
This is the best games are Sunday night and Monday night. Those are the best games. I think the Chargers Bengals is a very good game too. But the Sunday night game, you got the Broncos and the Chiefs. Broncos surprising victory against the choking Chargers, and then Patriots Bills Monday night. Those are the two games.
Bills, huge game, because I said to you guys, I think the Patriots are real Super Bowl contenders, and we're going to find out a lot about the Patriots because they play the Bills twice in the next 4 weeks.
Yep.
You're going to find out a lot about the Bills. Like, who are you?
Yeah, I'd agree with that as well. Right. Who are you guys? Are you 7-4 but trending downward? Or are you going to beat the Patriots and, take a piece of first place in the AFC East?
If you're the
real
Bills,
Josh Allen, please stand
right.
up.
If you're the Bills, if you split that, are you feeling bad about yourself, or should you win both those games? Because I think they should win both those games. I think they're better than New England, but I think New England may be coached better.
Well, they got, if they're going to win, this
Isn't that the story of the New England Patriots for the past 20
Right.
years?
Yeah.
They're just coached better.
Listen, if the Bills are going to win, this would be the game to win because this is the game where they're at home.
Yeah.
So
Send the message.
Bills Mafia. Is it snowing?
you can
It's
check on
Buffalo. It's always something.
Oh, 35 degrees. that day.
Yeah, that's nothing for the New England. That's nothing. All right, listen. Hey, just speaking about the rest of the sports weekend, we've covered Saturday and what's happening with college football, Sunday around the NFL. But tonight, Friday night, the return of LeBron. This is such a weird story. He's out because he's got positive COVID test, but he's got positive, negative, positive. Like, what's the deal? And then he starts sending out those tweets. It's very fishy.
Oh, God.
It's very, very fishy. What's going on here? LeBron returns to the Lakers tonight. Yeah, here's LeBron's tweet. Something is real fishy going on. He missed that game against Sacramento. My opinion is it's the best thing that could have ever happened to Frank Vogel because he was actually allowed to coach the team without LeBron coaching the team. Alex, tonight, it's Friday.
Yeah.
I know you watch every Laker game because that's a real fan. Lakers, Clippers tonight.
Woo!
Mm-hmm.
Woo! Woo!
Really?
I have no idea what's going to happen tonight. Listen.
This game got taken off TV.
Well, because...
Well, as it should have.
Suns Warriors are a way better game. I mean, Suns have now 18 straight.
Just saying.
Lakers win by 7.
Lakers by 7 tonight.
When
Browner?
was the last time the Lakers were taken off TV?
Well, but the thing is that the Warriors actually rate as well as the Lakers do. I mean, America loves the Warriors, and they love Steph Curry.
I got to tell you right now, I wouldn't turn my television to that game at all. 0. I'm Warriors, Suns, period. End of story.
Okay. Well, big basketball game tonight.
You're
Warriors,
hilarious.
Suns is one, and now Lakers and Clippers is the other. So that's coming up a little bit later on tonight as well. We had a great weekend. We have a great weekend of sports coming up. We are in the 7 Mile Casino Studios. Beer Friday coming up next here on Kaplan and Crew.
We'll be right back with more of Scott Kaplan and Crew tonight. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and Crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio. SoCal Sports Talk.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Hey, it's Pharrell here, inviting you to catch my shows on the mightier 1090. We're on twice every Monday through Friday, 1 to 3 p.m. and 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific. Trust me, all the other sports stations are sleeping with your wife.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Great things can be achieved when a community comes together. Join Erica Cardenas on Doing More as she introduces you to ordinary people working side by side to confront tremendous challenges and make a positive impact in their community.
Watch Doing More Sunday night at 6 on Your View or stream it online at yourview.com. Sponsored by The Barnes Firm, partnering with Shelter to Soldier and saving lives 2 at a time. Visit thebarnesfirm.com/shelter to soldier and help save more lives.
Still on his feet, Jared Williams. Swift is in the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcat. He's in the 40. Is he going to go? Goes, holds it in. What a catch. Return left sideline, off to the races. He flipped the defenders into the end zone. He's got a man. Wildcat. That was pretty.
Game Time High School Football on Your View is brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon, where your trade-in is always worth more. Just off I-8 in El Cajon.
From fitness to medical technology, explore how people are leading healthier lives on Your Health. Join Erica Cardenas as she introduces you to health experts and discover how our daily choices affect our well-being. Plus, learn simple tips for healthier living. Your Health, Sunday at 4:30 p.m. on Your View and yourview.com. Your Health is brought to you by Save the Storks. Help us reach the hearts of women with compassion, education, and holistic care. Here's Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
The high school football division finals took place last week. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of our division champions in the San Diego section. In Division 1, the Helix Highlanders took down the Lincoln Hornets 28-21. Helix scored 14 unanswered points in the fourth quarter to get the win. In Division 2, Scripps Ranch shut out La Jolla 42-0. And in Division 3, Mater Dei Catholic beat Ramona 37-10 to claim the title. The Crusaders had a big third quarter to get the win. This Friday, Mater Dei will take on Helix in the Division 2 AA State Football Championship Bowl Game Regional Finals. That's your 60-second timeout. Now back to more Kaplan and Crew tonight.
Kaplan and Crew tonight's 60-second timeout is presented by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Arash Markazi here, inviting you to catch my show, The Arash Markazi Show, on the mightier 1090. We are on every Monday through Friday from noon to 1 p.m. Pacific time. Join me and producer extraordinaire G. Wiley, where we chop up Los Angeles sports and try not to piss too many people off.
The all-new and mightier 1090.
Thank you for joining us and making the trip to San Diego's first Mazda Retail Evolution facility. It takes years and years to put all this together and to make Team Mazda a reality. Unbelievable team here.
Thank you to John and Corinne for the opportunity. It's a privilege and an honor to say that this is the store I get to be the general manager of.
I do want to speak to what I have in my hand here. It is a big, heavy plaque representing the grand opening. So I want to present this to John, say thank you again.
We're very proud of the work that you're doing here. I commend you on your future prosperity. At this point, I want to invite you all outside to hear a drum demonstration.
At La Jolla Cosmetic, we try to help people achieve well-being, and we feel that it's not only important to look good, but also feel good inside. And honestly, what a better opportunity to help my community than being a supporter of an organization such as Las Patronas.
The mission of Las Patronas is to provide financial assistance to local nonprofits that are providing valuable community services in the areas of health, education, social services, and cultural arts. La Jolla Cosmetic has been one of our biggest supporters at Las Patronas, so we couldn't do what we do without their support.
You feel the need and you see the need because we go to visit each grant applicant.
Partnering with groups that are actually dedicated to help your community, it's the best thing that you can do as a responsible business.
Shelter to Soldier is 9 years young with a mission to save lives 2 at a time. We're adopting dogs from local shelters, training them for post 9/11 combat veterans, and we're able to donate these trained dogs to deserving veterans in need.
You know, I was in a very dark place. I was having suicidal thoughts, and I really needed an immediate help. We don't know if tomorrow is going to be there for us.
Shelter to Soldier is a nonprofit, and we're able to do the work that we do because of you, the community. Whether it's an individual donating $5 or whether it's a corporate donor like the Barnes firm that's supporting us and sponsoring multiple dogs that are going to make an impact in the veterans' lives in need.
Him by my side 24/7 has completely turned my life around. It's not just saving both of our lives, it has made an impact on myself, Nigel, my family, my work. So yes, they definitely have saved our lives.
You're watching Kaplan and Crew Tonight, powered by the mightier 1090 and Your View, featuring the best sports talk in SoCal. Brought to you by Team Mazda of El Cajon and by Prospect Home Finance.
Wilsey Asset Management is an investment advisory firm registered with the SEC. We're a firm that's a fiduciary firm, and we manage $500 million in assets for clients and businesses nationwide. We do better when our clients do better. You want to have a win-win situation. And I saw the same thing with charities. Some of the charities that we're involved in would include Cruise for Kids. Another organization that we really helped a lot was Children's Hospital. And there's also other organizations that we help as well in addition to those.
Kind of growing up and seeing how involved my dad was in the community, it really rubbed me, I'm going to say, in the right way. I did kind of take that one step further, I would say, and actually did start my own charity. It's called the Fighters Fight Foundation. What we do is we actually provide experiences to women that are battling stage 3 or stage 4 breast cancer. Our charity is not just about providing the experiences for women, it's also too on educating people. If you want to get involved in the foundation, you can go to our website, fightersfightfoundation.com.
Watch Watch your San Diego State Aztecs take on the Cal State Fullerton Titans. December 8th at 7 p.m. live from the Viejas Arena.
Thank you for joining us. Catch Scott Kaplan and crew tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. Pacific every Monday through Friday. The very best from today's Scott Kaplan and crew show on the mightier 1090 AM. A new generation of radio, SoCal Sports Talk.